announcements. We're going to get a raid from Dawson in half a second, but again, it's just you and me, VOD watcher. Hello there. There we go. Posting the announcements. Then I'm posting it to this. Oh, shit. I forgot the Twitch notification. At Twitch notification. I keep doing that. Every time I forget the fucking Twitch notifications. Alright. Okay, there we are. And then I posted it in Dawson's chat, so we should be getting a raid from Dawson's Twitch pretty soon. And I'm going to hold off on doing anything before we get that raid. But what I will do is I'm going to set up a couple of things. Right now we're just doing face cam with like the music and stuff so that I can get like all of the NFT videos set up. It shouldn't be super hard to set up. I just need to have like Streamlabs, which I shouldn't be fucking using anymore because, well, the guys who run Streamlabs are shit and suck. What I'm going to do is let's first off, let's open up the NFT thing. Let's open up the YouTube video that is the NFT boys. There it is. It's called The Red Ape Family. I'm very excited to watch it. But first, we need to get it set the fuck up. Just letting VLC load. VLC takes its time. You know how it is. I don't want anyone to hear any of this bullshit first. Okay, there we go. Alright, now, let's just get on in to the stream, this sort of zone. And then, what I'm going to do is display capture. Yeah, it should be fine. That's fine. That's fine. It's fine like that. I mean, I have, like, it's got an infinite scroll sort of thing going on, but that's okay. Oh no, this is going to be awful. That's right. It sure is. I'm so excited. I'm so very excited. But we're not going to start until we get the raid. We're going to wait until Dawson's done. Dawson's thing. Ah, there he goes. Okay, yeah. Graveyard Dawson raided with a party of 12. Thank you very much, Dawson. I'm glad that all of the skeletons are here and are getting chopped up by Ash Evil Dead. Ah! Dawson has failed with the raid. Oh no, the raid! The raid is here! Alright. So now I can exit Dawson's streams chat. So, we have left that nerd Dawson. Damn, well, you took Dawson with you. You didn't leave him, he just grabbed you and then showed up into the stream before the raid happened. Oh! Oh no. Okay, hold on a second. First, I want to make sure everyone can see and hear the YouTube video. Let me just skip forward a little bit in it, so that we make sure that we have the sound and stuff and everything is good. I'm of course going to full screen it and everything, but right now I want to make sure it works. Okay, can everyone? I assume it looks like it's going just fine. Also, I am clipping out my microphone. Okay, so yeah, it looks like it's just fine. It looks like it's just fine. Oh yeah, a popular streamer playing Hollow Knight. I am neither of those things. Oh, well, okay. I mean, if you're going to be like that, fuck you. All right, I had to move my microphone a little bit farther away from my mic because I'm clipping it out because I'm just loud. Okay, I don't think that there's any problem with just getting fucking started. What do you guys think? It sounds like Durgo heard it, so I think it's not going to be a big problem. So I say let's just fucking deep dive into it. So, okay. First off, I should introduce what this is. What we are going to be watching is the NFT series, Season 1, Episode 1 of the Red Ape Family. This is a NFT series based specifically on the Bored Ape Yacht Club series of apes. The way it was animated was it uses a bunch of images, all of these apes are pre-generated on the blockchain, and they're given random characteristics, like they're given like they have the blockchain essentially just generates a random ape with a certain number of characteristics that it slaps onto it, and these are using those characteristics to do animation, like it opens their mouth, it has their mouth go like and stuff like that. And that's sort of how they did the animation for this, at least in part. The rest of them are flash puppets, more than fucking likely, based on the animation itself. And the fact is that these are one of the most popular NFTs. They are the things that you think of when you think of an NFT. And for those of you who very well may not know 10k viewers on a Hollow Knight category on Twitch, yeah. Oh yeah, that's because fucking what's his name was playing it today. Critical was playing Hollow Knight today. But anyway, so for those of you who don't know what an NFT is, an NFT is a non-fungible token, which is essentially like a piece of code on the blockchain that runs Ethereum usually, which is a cryptocurrency. The thing about most cryptocurrencies is one coin looks like any of the other coins on the blockchain, whereas an NFT is like its own thing on the blockchain. So it can be traded, but it's its own thing, and it has like a history of who has owned that particular thing. It doesn't look like any other Bitcoin. So an NFT can be minted for just about anything, and you can like buy and sell the NFT. It's basically like gives you a receipt for a thing. So like if you wanted to take a screenshot of a tweet and then upload it to the blockchain, you can do that. You can do that with a lot of images. Originally, NFTs were like as a concept sort of sold to artists as a way to sell their art for a lot more money than they were making with commissions, not have to worry about it getting stolen, and generally make a lot more money from their art than anything else. Of course, all of this turned out to be complete bullshit, and the artistic community in just about every corner of the web, whether it be music artists or painting artists, most specifically, like drawing artists who do a lot of commission work, have been, they will be the most abhorrent NFT attackers. They will go after NFTs because, like, within the first day, all of the promises of NFTs were proven completely fucking wrong. At least as far as art was concerned. And now the only people doing it are people who have, like, these images of apes that look like something that you'd get on, like, a Walmart t-shirt. They're not artists. They have a friend who can draw, but they're not, like, artists themselves. They're businessmen who are trying to make money off of these images because they think that, like, these images are eventually going to get really, really popular and they'll be worth a lot more money if they buy in now, like on the bottom floor. Whether or not that's the case remains to be seen, but some of these have gotten very, very big because they're being bankrolled by guys with a lot of fucking money. Like, for instance, the Ape Yacht Club is people paying a couple $100,000 per ape. You will get, like they'll spend $100,000 on a single fucking image of an ape. Oh yeah, nice fucking titties. What titties? Which titties? My titties? Anyway. But yeah, you know, oh, that Woo disappears meme guy. Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, sorry, where the fuck was I about the goddamn conversation I was having about the NFTs? Anyway, okay, yeah, a lot of them have a lot of money, so that they're able to do, like, all of this crazy stuff. There are a bunch of NFT guys that want to make, like, video game NFTs, like, NFTs that are, like, items that you will get across multiple video games, or, like, all video games, which is dumb as shit. There have been articles praising NFTs and then talking about, what if you played Mario Kart, but you owned Mario, and Mario was the best character in the game, and you got to play him, and his value would go up the better you were at playing Mario, which, to anyone who's ever played video games, sounds fucking awful, but again, this is being financed by people who are not interested in art forms too terribly much. They are interested in making money off of the receipts they get, because, like, one of the things is like, the biggest critiques of NFTs is, like, you can just right-click and save as an image, because it's just an image. And that brings me to my biggest critique of NFTs. My biggest critique of NFTs is, like, a philosophical one. I don't believe that NFTs is, like, a cool technology that was misused. I believe that NFTs, at their very core, is kind of rotten. Because one of the best things, in my opinion, of course, about the internet is that so much of it is free. So much of it is for everyone. If you post an image or a tweet online, everyone can see it, copy it, retweet it, reblog it, or whatever. It's free to everyone. It is big and communal. But it seems like the NFT bros looked at all of that communal stuff and said, no, I want to own this. And frankly, what I think we need to do is we need to put them in front of an episode of Barney and say, no. We share nice. We share nice, okay? You know, it's kindergarten shit. But the thing is, this is their new cartoon. A lot of people are saying, NFT people, of course, but a lot of people are saying that it is some sort of masterpiece, so it would be unfair of me to not give it a fair shake, right? So that's what we're going to do here. We're going to give it a fair shake. Yeah, TLDR NFT is bullcrap, pretty much. Yeah, ultimately. So let's give it this fair shake. It's about 8 minutes. Our conversation about it will probably last a little longer, and because it's pretty short, what I might do is have us watch an episode of Crash Canyon and sort of compare and contrast. I'll get the temperature on the room on that later. Crash Canyon's pretty fucking bad, and it's not a lot of people make it through all of the 20 minutes of the first episode, but I love Crash Canyon. It's just fucking awful. It's basically everything. Like whenever you talk about Family Guy riff-offs, Crash Canyon is the quintessential one. Just deeply unfunny. The animation is awful. It's better than this. I've seen a little bit of this, but we'll wait and see. We'll see how long this takes. But let's get started.
Are these Yetis stupid or what?
Hey Chucky, man's not hot, Chucky.
So the ship is called Musk 1, and we can talk about that in a second.
Fuck! Stupid, nonsensical, goddamn Yetis are at it again.
Leave it to me, boys.
Finally.
So, there's our very first problem. Let's talk about pacing and animation. I want to go back a little bit and show you something that I noticed that kind of bothers me. So, first off, we have this character who says, "Leave it to me, boys." We have an establishing shot of her leaving the spaceship, right? Now, she could have said, "Leave it to me, boys," while leaving the spaceship, so we wouldn't have to have this establishing shot that lasts. I'm surprised I was able to fucking pause before it ended. It lasts, like half a second. Literally half a second. And then it goes away. She shoots the Yeti.
Finally.
And there's no establishing shot for her getting back in. It just immediately warps there, and it feels really, really awkward. And also VLC is doing its VLC thing. So, this is, sort of to be entirely honest with you, I've never taken an animation class. I am not a big animation man, but I know one of the bare basics of animation is that you kind of do sometimes have to establish things. Well, I mean, actually, this isn't like an animation thing. This is a thing going on. Yeah, come to VLC Media Player if you want to get your ass kicked. Yeah, I mean, that's it. It's got all of the fun VLC Media Player pixels that we love to have. But yeah, the point is that, like, and this is actually for all editing, not just animation, but if you're going to have an establishing shot like that, what you need is an establishing shot for them to get in, because it is weird that they would just teleport in. Your brain just sort of notices that this feels weirdly paced. Like, that this is just kind of wrong if you're not, like, familiar with exactly what's wrong. But you'll watch this and you'll think, that's not exactly right. And I want you to sort of pay attention to that, like, when you're, we're gonna watch that little scene again, and then I'll show you how it just feels kind of weird. It's like, how did she get in the thing if they established that she left? Did she not enter? Why wasn't there a shot of her entering the bag?
Stupid,
Or something like that.
Goddamn Yetis are at it again.
Leave it to me, boys.
Yeah, that it's just immediate cuts away. The pacing in this is really, really bad. And then she's just not there. You see, that whole thing feels really stilted and awkward. And the reason it feels really stilted, I'm gonna turn it down a little bit. The reason it feels really stilted and awkward is because they have like a bunch of little cuts to a bunch of other things that just like feel like they were either completely unnecessary or created the necessity for another cut that they didn't have. And like, it's just like, this is level 1 stuff, right? This is bare basic pacing stuff. This is a problem that, like, if you are a complete amateur and have never, like, really even thought about, like, this is stuff that, like, if you watch enough television shows, you'll just notice that it feels weird. And probably everyone in the chat just noticed it felt fucking weird. And that's because the pacing was just really, really awkward and erratic. So yeah, we're not off to a great start as far as, like, masterpiece goes. I think that disqualifies it. A very, very, very basic pacing problem. Something that most YouTubers wouldn't have a problem with. And I understand, like, the need for, especially in YouTube videos, quick cutting like that, but no. In this, it just kind of doesn't work. Maybe maybe just like have her say, I'll leave this to me, boys. Then she's outside, she zaps the Yeti, and she comes back in, and then it does a fun quip like, well, that wasn't so hard, now was it, while she's coming in. So you like have the establishment of her going out and then her coming back in, and then they zoom through, but like they watched this and didn't think it was awkward. They, to be clear, had a premiere of this in a theater in Dubai that they got sold out. And, yeah, it did sold out its premiere, but, like, you know, until, Folding Ideas Man posted about it on his Twitter, they only had about 5,000 views. They're up to 170,000 now, which is about as much as one of my videos. Like, one of my more popular videos. More than a lot of my videos, but, you know how it is. Also, yeah, their ship is named Musk One, which is a reference to Elon Musk. Of course, because the crypto, I'm sure you've seen that meme, like, you know, legitimate criticism, Elon Musk fans, and like Elon Musk fanboys jumping in front of, like, Elon Musk to get shot by the legitimate criticism of Elon Musk, and the guys who are into crypto are the same guys who are into Elon Musk, which is why this is, it's all part of the whole thing, and that's the thing we're going to be getting into a lot of as we continue. But let's continue. I've kind of just, like, been talking non-stop about like 3 fucking seconds of animation that's just kind of a problem that they shouldn't have had. If there was literally anyone who had worked on animation before in this would have spotted that immediately, or anyone who's watched the fucking cartoon before would have said like, this scene feels weird and like it's a little too fast, like a bunch of stuff happens at once and I don't really get it, you know, stuff like that. Come to, yeah, Thel Graveyard Media, you did. Is the cartoon itself an NFT? No, it is not. That is a very good question that has an answer. This cartoon is not an NFT. However, there is one that is. It is called Stoner Cats. It stars Mila Kunis, and I have yet to find an upload. We would have watched that one too, but I wasn't able to find anything. I wasn't able to find it yet, but it cost $800 to watch, and obviously I'm not going to fucking pay $800 to watch that shit. But there are uploads. People have seen it that haven't paid the $800, and I just don't know where to find it. I might do a little bit more digging and find it at some point, but this one is not an NFT. However, there are animated shorts that are NFTs themselves. But this itself is not an NFT. It's a YouTube series. So, you know, just so you know, that is actually a very good question, though.
Well, actually, I had my first flight just last week. Long story short, ended up a little dead.
Yeah, this is a good start. Yep, real good.
2 days earlier.
You can see the pacing is continuously a problem. That was also supposed to be a joke there.
No humans detected. Dope.
Now I'm going to pause in a second because there's something that hit me, right? Okay. So, I want to pause right here. I have watched at least up to this point in the NFT video. I haven't seen very far into it, but this is a point where what I thought they were going to do was essentially refute my arguments or attempt to attack my arguments. I'm the kind of person who's like, NFTs aren't art and they're complete bullshit by a bunch of people who don't give a shit about art. What I assumed he was going to do is he was going to look at the picture of the monkey Mona Lisa and say, wow, it really makes me feel stuff. I really have an appreciation for art and stuff now that I've really gotten into it, or something like that. Or like he was going to make a direct refutation of the arguments that I would make on Twitter. Let's see what he does.
Bigger than I thought.
So that is a reference to a fun fact about the Mona Lisa. The Mona Lisa is it's not very big for a very like a painting that is so engraved into all of our cultures. It's a very small painting, and that's like a fun fact that you might have read about on like Imgur circa 2015. And this is about, essentially, instead of doing the thing that I expected them to do, which was attempt to refute my argument, they just made my argument for me. The most that this person and that this piece of art can say about the Mona Lisa is a fun fact they read about it on the internet. It's not, they're not getting anything from art, is what I'm saying. These are not people who are interested in art. And that's kind of why all of the NFT stuff looks the way that it does. It kind of explains the entire current, I suppose, NFT sphere, because like there were a bunch of artists that got in on it. A lot of them were industry people until they got like either their stuff stolen or their friend's stuff stolen or explained exactly how it was doing. I haven't even talked about the fucking problems that cryptocurrency has with the environment, but that's another big thing. One of the biggest arguments you'll see is that cryptocurrency is ridiculously bad for the environment and is currently outputting, just mining cryptocurrency is outputting more carbon into the atmosphere than most countries, which is something that everyone else it'll be the first thing they say, but something that I forget a lot of the times because I have like a lot of other problems with NFTs, but it's also a extremely bad, very not good thing that NFTs do. And specifically they're on the blockchain and bought with, like, NFTs aren't outputting the carbon emissions themselves, it's just they are working with the technology that does that, you know what I'm saying? It's like it's like criticizing a Google thing. Like, Google Drive isn't selling you fucking ad data. Well, actually, it might be. Anyway, the point is ultimately NFTs are so directly tied to crypto, they're tied to that argument as well. But that's the point. Yeah, you living in one of the most cold countries laughing at your global warming issues. Oh, well, unfortunately, I have bad news about getting colder.
Gold. I ain't seen that shit in years.
Okay, that one. Now, this is actually a joke that I understood. So one of the things is the reason that, like, they've specifically decided to go out of their way with the very few lines that they've had to say, I ain't seen that shit in years, to make a good point about gold, is because of the fact that American currency is on the gold standard. So, what that means is that, well, by is on the gold standard, I mean is not on the gold standard, but was at one point. It's a whole fucking thing, and I'm not going to get into all of it because I honestly don't know about all about it. Originally, the idea about American currency is that American currency was essentially made up like a percentage of gold. There was a certain amount of currency that was that much currency because of all of the amount of gold that we have. So, because of the fact that gold was what gave American currency its value at some point. And because one of the arguments that crypto bros make about crypto is that we're not on the gold standard anymore, so gold ultimately being the thing that gives currency its value, like this is certain amount of money in the gold that exists, is completely useless. However, the blockchain's work will always have value because, like, the amount of work it takes to mine a Bitcoin will only ever go up, and we can never just, like, make more Bitcoins. That's not how it works. You can only make more Bitcoins by putting in the work. So, essentially what it's saying is, the reason that he hasn't seen gold is because gold becomes irrelevant because everyone uses Bitcoin now, because this is the perfect cyber future for them. Kinda. Even though they're criminals.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Now I'm going to pause again and talk about character writing, a completely different aspect to all of this. Okay, so in this heist, immediately one of the first problems. Now we're getting into writing stuff, not even just animation stuff. It looks bad, but we're getting into writing. So this character is established as being here to steal something. He is here to steal this particular USB drive that is made of. The fuck is going on in this frame that I paused it in? The lines are over here. The coloring is over here, and the drive is down here. I didn't do that on purpose. I want to talk about the character writing. God damn it! The art is doing bad things, and I want to talk about the character writing. Okay, so the guy goes in. He's gonna steal something. That's the point of this thing. He is established as sort of like a professional thief or whatever. Like he broke into what I'm pretty sure is the Louvre, because it was like it's like the cyber Louvre or whatever, and he's going to steal this like gold flash drive. So what he does is he goes in, walks past the human detector. I don't understand what that is. I honestly don't get that. And then he breaks it with a hammer. The alarms go off. He goes, oh fuck, and then runs as though this wasn't part of the plan. But the thing is his plan seemed to be break it with a hammer, which would have made the alarm go off. It seems like he didn't have a plan. But this guy is like being currently established as a guy who robs banks. We aren't getting any character establishment, haven't before this point. So like, ultimately, like, if this character, as he is being established, it would make sense that he would have had a plan, but they didn't think about that. What they wanted was to kick off the plot, which is going to be about this golden thing, and also have an action scene. And they thought, how are we going to kick off the plot and also have an action scene without thinking about how the characterization was going to work, or if there existed a time before this, because, you know, last time it was, for some reason, the previous scene was in the future, and I don't know why they didn't start with this scene. That's a completely fucking different thing. Why did we have a scene of, like, them in a spaceship in the future? Because they could have started with it. The writing is all over the place, is my point. They're essentially trying to do a bunch of different things, and completely forgetting about most of the writing, or just not caring, or something like that. I legitimately cannot tell. But yeah, from a writing perspective, this is really bad. From an animation perspective, they have told a couple of jokes, and none of them have been funny. They will tell more jokes as time goes on, and we can talk about those then. We are currently 1 minute 36 seconds into the NFT, and I have been streaming for 25 minutes. I apologize that I keep pausing and talking about the minutia of every single piece of thing going on here, but there is unfortunately a lot to talk about, because this is not good in, like, a lot of different fun and interesting ways. So this is the scene that's been passed around on Twitter, and it's, you know, really bad.
Fuck.
That, So he says fuck, however, he then approaches it as though he's complete.
Babies.
Yeah, well, so it would have also been nice if they would have established that, and now it plays the, introduction. Yeah. Yeah. It's honestly, the introduction and the animation is the best animation in the, you know, entire video. The problem is it kind of doesn't really mean anything. And also the disparity between, like, the big cartoony title and, like, the sort of gray bleakness of the like the introduction is also really weird and jarring and just kind of funny. It's like the people who made these are people who are not experienced in any of the things that they are trying to do. Like, they don't have a base level of knowledge. Like, they don't have a basic idea of what they're fucking doing. And it is crazy that anyone can look at this and say it's a masterpiece, to be entirely honest. Like, it's wild. It's very bad. It's there are people who are saying that 12-year-old, it looks like it was animated by 12-year-olds. I completely disagree. I have seen lots of 12-year-olds do, like, incredible animatics that are just like animatic storyboards, and they are much more fluid and look a lot better than this. And that's another thing that I want to talk about with the action scene. Let's go back to the fucking action scene. Well, let's talk about fluidity for a second. We're going back there. I'm sorry I'm making this take longer. I'm sorry that you have to look at this terrible artwork more, but I want to talk about fluidity and animation, and like, he doesn't have a fucking hand! Okay, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine, we're going to go back just a little bit. Okay, this is a good place to start. This man looks like he has balls.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Okay, so, the dogs. Alright, so the way that the dogs are running. One of the things that is, like, base level animation stuff that you learn in, like, the first class that you take in animation is momentum. So if you were going to make an animation, it's very easy to do what this is doing. Like, watch the dogs and think about, like, how a dog would move versus, like, how the background is moving. Like what would look like a normal dog movement. I think there's still a little bit of the dogs left. Yeah, no, notice how it's like, it doesn't feel, like, super realistic. Like, they don't feel like they have a lot of momentum. They're kind of just moving forward in the screen while the background is going. It doesn't feel like, as the treadmill of the background goes, their legs aren't hitting the bottom and then, like, reacting to the background. They're just moving forward while the background is going back. One of the first things you learn in animation is you have to kind of keep momentum going. It's one of the tenets of animation, is momentum. It's also one of the more difficult parts of animation that you just kind of have to get, but, like, they definitely don't have an idea of momentum. But also, when we get to the punch fight scene coming up, yeah, right here, physics is another thing. Like, everything feels like he sort of jumped up really quick to that, and then that guy jumped on the ground. there's no feeling of weight anywhere, and weight is another big thing. I know one of the first things that you do in an animation class is you do what is called a bag test, where you have to take like a paper bag, or like a bag full of rice or something, like a burlap bag, and you have to give it weights and character. Make it seem like this is a weighted bag that is a person, which, you know, essentially is like, it teaches you just how to like sort of weight things, and everything here feels like it's moving completely weightlessly, like nothing weighs fucking anything. There isn't any, it's not solid, it feels very flat and floaty. And we'll get back to that. So let's go back to the intro. I'm not gonna make you watch any more of that or VLC kill itself. VLC is trying to murder this, and I don't blame it. I don't blame it. Here we are. We're about here. This is worse than anything on Newgrounds. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Fucking Nixon. Oh yeah, Nixon took us off. Nixon is the one who took us off the gold standard. Thank you, Friezon, for coming here with.
Honey, would the husband you idolize and adore let you down? Don't answer that.
So first off, that was a joke. I'm so sorry. I had to let you guys know. But now you can see one of the things. So the dialogue specifically is done with the generations. There are like several mouth assets that the Bored Ape Yacht Club apes have. And these mouth assets are the things that they use for animation. They essentially just, whenever their mouth is supposed to move, they replace the asset with another one. These are definitely flash puppets. And they look like really, really bad flash puppets because there's no, again, there's no fluidity to their movements. They, all of their movements are done basically digitally. Like they just create keyframes, and then they have the program just make a bunch of frames in the middle of it. So it has that look about it, which is definitely useful, but they're not creating very many keyframes, to be entirely honest. They're creating like one keyframe to give like the impression of fluid movement, but it doesn't work.
Do you know what this is? This little lump of gold is actually a device containing the most valuable NFT ever created. I read about it in Vogue.
NF what?
Non-fungible token?
Non-fuckable toucan.
All you need
Not
to
a,
know
not funny,
is that
not a
it
funny joke.
actually is worth more than the entire city of Paris.
Including the Awful Tower.
Yes, including the Eiffel Tower.
Now that's another thing I want to talk about with dialogue writing. That's a joke that's there. They did this twice, where the character says something that's wrong, and then the girl character corrects them. Oh, fuck, there are two things I want to talk about here. Oh, I want to talk about the girl character writing, and also, okay, so let's talk about the jokes. Firstly, if you're going to write a joke that's funny into a conversation, you kind of have to make it flow into the conversation in a way that makes sense. This is my area of expertise. I am good at two things when it comes to writing. Good dialogue and setups and payoffs. Those are the two things I'm good at. When you're writing dialogue like this, what you want to do is you want to have it be something that someone would say in that moment, right? So, like, if the man was going to get the word Eiffel Tower mixed up and say awful tower, and that was going to be the joke, you would need to make it so the sentence would give him a reason to say the awful tower. But if you were going to say, this NFT is more than the entirety of Paris, someone would not reply then, including the Eiffel Tower, because that's just, yeah, yes, including the Eiffel Tower and the fucking Louvre and the catacombs, including all of that. Of course it does. Why wouldn't it? Why would you specify? What's the fucking point of that? I'm sure that there is a way that you could lead him to saying the Eiffel Tower in this conversation, especially because it's talking about Paris. Like, maybe she lists all of those things. This is worth more than the Louvre itself, more than the Eiffel Tower, more than the catacombs, more than all of Paris. And then he responds with, don't you mean the awful tower? No. Or something like that. Like you have to have it flow in fluidly. Like he makes a stupid fucking mistake in there. It's still, the joke itself is not funny. But the way that they told the joke is wrong. The way that they, like, the setup for the joke was also fell flat on its face. The first way to fix this problem, make a funnier joke. That one isn't funny. The second way to fix this problem is to fix the way that the joke is told. And the joke is told in a really bad way. So the next thing I want to talk about is the character writing with the girl. So these guys are doing a thing in this character writing and the way that like she's correcting him and stuff. So you guys remember Penny Arcade and all those gamer comics from the like mid to late 2000s, right? And Penny Arcade was around early 2000s. It's like fucking PAC is the Penny Arcade convention. Oh my god. And now it's just like the big video game convention. Anyway, Penny Arcade did this thing, and so did all of these other gamer comics, where there would like be a bunch of dude characters, and it would be written by a bunch of dudes, but they wouldn't really have like a idea of how to write a woman into a thing. And so what they would do is they would just create the woman as like a mom character. She's like hyper competent and like all of the guys constantly make stupid mistakes. And then she's like, haha, dumb, silly, stupid boys. I know the correct answer to the thing you're talking about. You guys are so fucking silly, which is what this character is. And it's a really tired trope that was tired in 2005. It is 2022, the Anno Domini of our Lord. My gosh. Yeah, Control-Delete as well. That one too. Welcome back, Barmum. You missed fucking nothing. I'm still talking. Apologies, but that's what this stream is going to be. If you don't want me to talk over the monkey phase, then I'm so sorry. I can't help you. This is all I'm going to be doing this entire stream. And this is about the end of what I've seen. The rest is uncharted territory for me, which is most of the video.
That'll be our ride out of here.
Okay, so that's what's going on. So let me explain what happened there, because it was clearly super unclear. What the attempt was there, what the fuck? I'm sorry, the whole thing just hit me all at once. What they were trying to do is the spaceship was arriving, and it was like rocking the apartment. But the apartment wasn't moving because they only have a still asset from the apartment. They didn't have like a sound effect in the background that was like clanking plates or clattering things or like dust falling from the ceiling because like the apartment was shaking, which is something that you would expect and would have given you a better idea. So they only had the engine sound of the ship. So that's another thing. The sound design in this is very, very bad because mostly it's just silence with like just them talking. And there's only ever, like, they only ever use, like, 2 channels of audio, which, when you're making an animation or something like this, you generally need a lot more channels to immerse people into it. Like, what you have is you have, like, the whole thing shake, you have, like, sounds, like, from dust coming from the ceiling, you have, like, dishes going... I don't know if you can hear that, but they do that while it's, like, everything's shaking. And they obviously didn't do that because they don't know about that. They don't know about making, like, audio layers like that sort of immerses you. Like, your audience isn't going to notice that, but their brain is. Right? Yeah. And another problem with this, and I want to talk about voice acting too, the guy they got to do this monkey is completely wrong. This man is essentially supposed to be, like, the super badass, but... One, he's kind of being used at the expense of a bunch of jokes where he's, like, kind of a dumbass and just, like, says things that are wrong. And, like, because he's supposed to be, like, a super badass, this kind of doesn't gel with his character. It just makes him look like a fucking jack-off. Like, he's made as a character that we're supposed to hate, but he's supposed to be, like, sort of, like, the semi-main character of the show, the guy that we're supposed to latch on to, but, like... Fuck it, sure, I'll make that joke. Guess that tells you a lot about the people who fucking play NFTs. Let's keep watching this terrible show. I want to watch them do the fucking wiggle dance again, though. Because this lady just gets up off the couch suddenly, like, teleports up off like, they have this conversation, and she's like, no, it's the Eiffel Tower. This is really expensive, and then do a wild wiggle dance. I want to watch that again.
Yes, including the Eiffel Tower.
I love it. It's beautiful. Oh, okay, so now they have, like, a problem. And these are a bunch of characters we haven't been introduced to yet. And then they fly away.
Another nice mess you got us into. Who? How? Huh? Is there a fucking owl here? Give me that. You won't get away with this, Chucky.
Oh, okay, so that boing sound effect was because he, like, smacked, they were trying to do, like, a Three Stooges thing where, they smacked, like the big guy smacked the little guy, in the back for playing the harmonica on the binoculars, which that part was still throwing me for a loop when they hit me with that. So I don't know if you guys are getting this, but like I'm understanding what they're trying to do, and they're doing a very bad job. I feel like some people might not understand what they're attempting to do there, so I want to at very least explain the joke so you cannot laugh at it.
2 days later.
Why the I don't know why okay, so first, let me go back and say the thing that I was going to say before my senses were assaulted by all the Donald Trumps. The thing that I was going to say was, if there's no reason for that flashback to have been a flashback, because it was completely inconsequential. That scene could have been completely removed. The scene that was like that introduced us to everything could have been completely removed, and it wouldn't have changed anything. It should have just been removed. I don't know why there was a flashback. Like that was in media res, but it wasn't like anything exciting happening. It was like they ran into a Yeti, and I don't know what the fucking Yetis are. I don't understand that reference. That is certainly a reference to something. Second thing I want to talk about, what the fuck is going on in this frame? I paused. Why are there 2 Donald Trumps inside of a pod? Why are there 2 lines of Donald Trumps down here? Why are the apes different sizes sometimes? There's the lion, which is a different NFT, and I guess he's part of the group. There's this guy. I assume this racism is some sort of NFT, and I think this is supposed to be like a Rick and Morty thing.
Michael Porter, please make your...
There's another Donald Trump. Why are there like a lot of Donald Trumps?
way to the boarding gate.
I don't know about the NFT's crew's feelings about...
After all.
Welcome to Mars International Airport, motherfucker. We outside. Hey, Maurice. Hey, yo, Maurice, we don't pay you minimum wage for no reason, man. What you doing? Put him in the boat.
We've got an amazing...
Incredibly, okay, so there's actually a rapper that specifically signed off on this, and I'm pretty sure that was him doing the voice of that guy. Best voice actor so far. Best voice acting so far. Mostly because all of the voice actors sound, they're doing that thing. They're doing this thing that if you, like, follow a bunch of YouTubers, like, for a long time, and then watch a bunch of their early videos, you'll a lot of times hear them talk like this, where it's like they're kind of sort of talking, like, at a whisper, and that's for two reasons. One is because a lot of times they're still living with their parents and they don't want to bother everyone else in the house, but they still want to do, like, sound like they know what they're talking about. And two, it's because, oh, they're going to have to listen to these recordings and they're not super confident listening to their voice or what their voice is and using them yet. They're still trying to figure things out. So he's talking this sort of like whisper voice that's like semi-whispery, and it's for people who aren't just it's something that they do. And like if they were on a voice call, they'd be talking a lot louder, but it's like they're very, very conscious of their voice at the time, and that's something that eventually goes away as you do it more. And you know, I like that's something I have experience with. The rapper, his voice acting was relatively good. Like surprisingly good, especially compared to everything that we've seen. To the point that, like, the jokes he was making that weren't funny were at least delivered well, you know? And I'll give him that. The rapper guy that they got to also do the introduction to this, and I assume that was a cameo from him, is a much better voice actor than anyone else, and he was given his assignment and he did it good. Good job.
Opportunity here. Don't fuck it up.
Dr. Nwatiti, what are you doing? You can't just snack on civilians like that.
Hey, what are you talking about? That is not very nice.
Passport, please.
I'm Winky, he's Chucky, these young monkeys are Caesar and Hunky, and the dog's Rocky.
Oh, and this is Dr. Nwatiti, our family doctor / hypnotherapist / the last guest you want at a dinner party.
My cholesterol.
It's weird. Like every time, like he does like a joke, like half the time he does that thing, like as though like it's a moment to like laugh, or that like you're supposed to know that it's a joke. But all of and that's like the only thing like in his delivery that makes it sound like it's supposed to be a joke, because he's also supposed to be like some sort of fucking super badass space pirate man. And unfortunately, like the guy can't pull either of them off, who they got to voice act. I assume, like, the guy who does, like, a lot of the animation, like, I assume they have a very small team of people who do voice acting and animation and all of that stuff, just like we have at Graveyard Media for the Hollow Knight videos, but the thing is about the Graveyard Media Hollow Knight videos is, the voice acting is really good in those. I don't like to tug on my own dick a lot, but all of the voice acting that for everyone has fucking done in those goddamn Hollow Knight videos is really goddamn good. I have never gotten a bad performance out of anyone. I've had several people tell me, I'm not much of a voice actor, I've never done any voice acting before, I don't know how good I'm going to be, and then give me a fucking incredible performance. Like, this happens every time I try to get someone to do a voice acting. The most recent one was Taria, you should check out her stream. I hit up Taria and was like, hey, voice act in my thing, and she was like, yeah, absolutely, I'm not much of a voice actor, I don't know if I'm gonna be any good. So I gave her the fucking Grey Mourner, and have her give this, like, really, really depressing, like, scene about how she misses her dead girlfriend, and it's fantastic. She did such a good fucking job, and I don't know, I don't know if these guys are going in overconfident or underconfident or what is going on here, but all of the voice acting, well, except for the lion and maybe this lion guy and the rapper guy that they got, they're just like, they're just not doing a very good job. And I don't know, I haven't worked with any bad voice actors, so I have no idea why, personally. I don't know.
There's no need for your life story, Earthling.
Well, you better limber up, buddy. We've got to bust a move.
Oh, you're working for the Buskville Council? Well, why didn't you say so? Anyway, this all seems to be in order. Here are your documents, my hairy friend. Make sure to get your gravity sneakers fitted before going outside. Alright?
I actually... Oh, that was probably a Squid Game reference. That very well might have been a Squid Game reference. I haven't seen Squid Game. But I think that was a fucking Squid Game reference. I don't know why, what the fuck... Oh, I'm gonna keep going. I don't even have anything to say. All I have to say is I don't know what the fuck was going on.
2 sizes and body weights, please, my darling. Get them wrong, and you'll float away. And die. We're doing 2-for-1 discounts on gravity shoes for the little ones.
Sick. Size 14 and 200 kg, my man. What that?
Naughty. Here you go, sir. And how about the rest of you cheeky monkeys?
We're not monkeys. Do you see a fucking tail on my ass? Caesar, what the fuck, little...
Oh, that was a transition to a different scene.
Guy.
Alas, poor Yorick. I knew him Horatio, a fellow of infinite jest.
They pitched his voice down.
Well, he's definitely my kid.
Alright, you know we are gonna party hard, man. Where the girls them there? Oh, here we are go. Oh, hey, what is, man? Bomber clot, man. Who them? Them here me yard. Me no know you. Move your bomber clot, man.
There are powerful forces at play here that are beyond all of our control.
I honestly have no idea what's going on currently. I have not been given a reason that they're going here. I understand that the plot seems to be centered around the golden NFT. They have gone to this mushroom planet. There are those guys there at this mushroom planet, but I don't know why they're at the mushroom planet. I don't know what good that's going to get them. I don't know what the fuck is going on. It's not like subtle, like what's going on. It's that it's trying to spend so much time doing like these weird jokes. And okay, we just a second ago, for the first time, had it established that this television show is supposed to be a family sitcom, right? They have 2 kids, and that's part of the family sitcom thing. And one of the kids is smart, and I assume one of the kids is dumb. This is the first time it has been established. There's been nothing that has pointed us in that direction, but just now, we had a showing that these 2 smaller monkeys are their kids. At no point was this ever established in any other way, and that is something that you would want to establish way earlier on than, like, more than half, like, oh, you have a third left of the thing. It's something you want to establish immediately, right? It's something that you don't want to have this completely inconsequential scene in the beginning. You want to establish that this is a family outfit in the fucking beginning, instead of, like, the fucking scene with, like, the guy crashing into the window there for no good goddamn reason. Let's keep going and see what happens. Getting a limbo. Oh, yeah. Yes, they are on Mars. Yeah, they're on Mars. They're on Mars. Specifically, that's where they are. That's what they said, but why are they on Mars? I don't know. Good on them. Sorry, let me read chat. I've been ignoring chat, and I've just been going on fucking rambles and rants. Oh, the audio is quieter than me by a lot. Okay, I'll turn it down up a little bit. Yeah, and unfortunately, I apologize. I've been talking over it the entire time. Control delete. Yeah, it wasn't like it had its own issues with the other guy. Was a straight guy. I thought my stream buffered there. Yeah. What is this? This is the NFT cartoon. It's bad. Going on them for getting the limbo of lost voice actors for this. Yeah, and yes, again, they are on Mars. And this is supposed to be filled in on just this, or this is supposed to be a glow effect. These are supposed to be those are supposed to be glow effects. There's a little Bitcoin symbol, and Banger Games, which I think is an NFT games thing. Yeah, we have established this tower, thankfully. That's the first thing they've established in the game.
There is at least 4 apes out there, mi amor.
No way.
We cannot let them all in, surely. But if we do, they can hang around. Get it?
You're kidding, mate. Here, give me that. Hey, neighbours. Who the hell are ya?
Oh, that's where it ends, huh? Wow, okay. Man, alright. 2 Chainz, that's the man. Okay, hold on. Is this like is this... Oh my fucking god. Okay, the rest of this is credits. I'm just gonna... I'm gonna get fucking demonetized by 2 Chainz himself for making fun of his NFT cartoon that he helped put money into. Special thanks to all of these guys. Executive producers, and these are all people who put money into the thing. All of those loves and support during this journey. See you in episode 2, The Red Ape Family. Wow. The credits just move super slow. There's really not that many credits. Let's see. Blockchain team, sponsored agent, special thanks to all of these guys. Intro music, composer. Here are all Chris Goward, Alexander Goward, Steve Wyatt. Okay, so these two are like either married or brother and sister. Steve Wyatt, Diana Duff, Fuego, Slim, and Major Williams. Which I assume that most of those. Okay, animatic editor. Okay, this is a completely different guy. All right, cool. So it was the voice actors were okay. Let's see if we find any more Gowards animators. These were all of the animators. Shalua Abdul-Jabbar, was that one of the voice actors? No, it was not. I don't know why I thought it was. Yeah, so some of these are like web, specifically like web names. Not most of them, but okay. So they had 2 writers. Chris Goward, who is one of the voice actors. Yeah, he's the lead voice actor. So the guy who wrote all of the dialogue is the main monkey guy who was trying to sound badass. At least I assume that's the guy who played it. He was top billed, and he had directed by Hashem Ziani, okay. Writer Chris Goward. So the head writer was also the main voice actor, that makes sense. They had like essentially a very small team, but yeah, it looked really bad. To sum up, the biggest, most surprising thing about this is I had no idea what the fuck was going on for most of it. 90% of this was establishing things. And half of the time it was establishing things that had no relation to the other things that it was establishing. Like, it's been a long time establishing the golden NFT chip. Then when they left Mars, or left Earth, and went to Mars, it established that there were, like, villains who want the NFT chip, I assume. Or just hate those particular monkeys because they're bounty hunters or something, I don't know. Then it spent a long time in the Martian airports. And then it established Mars as a place that exists. And then it ended halfway through whatever the story they were telling. Like, they did not, it just rolled credits. They were just like, okay, maybe we can't let these people into this mushroom house. It was never established why we couldn't let them into the mushroom house, but it's like, there may be some opposition to them going inside of this building that they need to go into for some fucking reason that they didn't tell us. That we have, like, no way of knowing why they needed to go in the building. And that'll probably, in episode 2, they'll probably let us know, but, like, that's something that we should know before they go to the building. But we know there are challenges ahead, and then it just fucking hard cuts to credits. Hard cuts to credits. This was, when you're doing a first episode, specifically, especially because the first episode is key. Like a script, the first, like a script, the first, 10 pages is key. Your first episode of a television series is key. It is the pilot. It is the thing you are using to sell to a network and to an audience. It's the first thing your audience is going to see. So you kind of want to have all of the characters firmly established. You want to have what the overarching plot, if there is going to be one, is going to be, and you want to tell a small, self-contained story that lets you get to know all of these characters and all of their struggles and what they all want to do. This was mostly none of that. This was essentially the first third of what you would expect of a pilot episode. Very bad. Extremely not good. So that was that. This is like watching Wreck-It Ralph 2 for the worst people you know. Kinda. Yeah, a little bit. And it said it was 8 minutes, but it was actually 6 minutes, and I've been streaming for about an hour. It took me an hour to get through the 6 minutes of the NFT cartoon. It was very, very bad. And the problems were, so yeah, ultimately not a masterpiece. The problems, all of the problems are very basic stuff. Like, level 1 entry-level stuff. Stuff that if you have ever watched a cartoon, you will notice how this isn't like a cartoon. Let's just watch the end scene again. Like, I want you to pay attention to how crazy it is, just on Mars. I want you to compare this to literally every cartoon that you've ever seen in your life. Compare the pacing of this and how this works to just about every scene in any cartoon, or any ending scene in any cartoon, and just really think about how different it is from all of those in just this deeply bad way. And I also want you to think, the people who made this watched this over 10 times. I'm going to make you watch this like a second time. The people who made this watched this over and over and over again to fix several different problems, I assume. And they didn't notice that this just like they didn't watch like anything else in response to this. They didn't notice that this like had really weird pacing. It's so weird. Just watch for a second.
Alright, you know we are gonna party hard, man. Where the girls them there? Oh, here we are go. Oh, hey, what is, man? Bomber clot, man. Who them? Them here me hard. Me no know you. Move your bomber clot, man.
There are powerful forces at play here that are beyond all of our control.
Let me see. What's happening out there?
There is at least 4 apes out there, mi amor.
No way.
We cannot let them all in, surely. But if we do, they can hang around. Get it?
You're kidding, mate. Here, give me that. Hey, neighbours. Who the hell are ya?
And yeah, it just hard cuts to credits, huh? There's the mistakes they're making. Like, here's the thing. I made that video about Andrew Allenson a million years ago. This is like if I wasn't able to launch the game Yick. Like, no. It's so much worse than that. It's so much worse than that. Like, comparing this to Yick is almost apples to oranges. That's a completely different fucking problem. The problem with Yick is that this is a person who knew the very basics of writing, but tried to do something that was a little bit out of their depth. Because they kind of, like, understood writing from specifically a perspective of this is what the good shit is, but not a perspective of exactly why it's like that. It was a general misunderstanding about how the medium worked. This is basic level shit. Like, stuff that, like, you would pick up on if you had ever watched an episode of Blue's Clues, right? Like, it's really, really simple pacing stuff. The most basic level stuff. In fact, that particular thing, the way that this is a problem is kind of the reason that I want to show us Crash Canyon. I might not do all of an episode of Crash Canyon, but I want to do a little bit of one. Hey, you guys killed the Ender Dragon! Hey! Friezawn's fucking server killed the Ender Dragon. Congratulations, you motherfuckers. Good work. I'm gonna go full face for a second, and it's gonna have the music in the background. So I think I am going to do a little bit of Crash Canyon, just so that I can talk about a very extremely bad cartoon. One of like it's whenever someone is like, hey, bust out a bad cartoon, I always go, oh, we're busting out Crash Canyon. Crash Canyon's real fucking bad. You're gonna hate that shit. It's so bad. Crash Canyon's the one I like to do for that. So I'm gonna bust that out, and I'm going to try and compare it favorably to the NFT thing. I'm going to point out what Crash Canyon does right that this one does wrong. Because, Crash Canyon is really bad. You're gonna hate watching it. But it understands the basics, which the NFT cartoon just does not. The Red Ape family just does not understand it all. So let's get Crash Canyon open up. Crash Canyon. Well, all of the entire series is on YouTube because it was canceled like a million years ago, and no, I don't know if anyone fucking owns the rights to it anymore. It's just bad. So we're just gonna open it up on YouTube. Yeah, what's wrong with my house? Like this? Oh, I just lots of things, but all of this stuff is like normal. I just set that up. It's just bones. You know how it is. Sometimes there's just bones. Sometimes there's just bones. Yeah, and let me actually read fucking chat. I'm sorry I'm such a bad streamer. Yeah, Mars is just like that. Like 95% of the small plot points and minor jokes demands from their no-to rich boy staff and donators. Oh, I'm sure. That's absolutely 95% sure. Yeah, I think you're completely right, Moxie. Completely on the fucking money there. Like they wouldn't have had kids if not for the Al Guru or whatever asking. Yeah. I think the reason is that they also wanted to get on like sort of the Family Guy bandwagon. They want to make like a family show, but they're also heist monkeys, which in concept is a kind of a fun and cool idea. Legitimately, the concept of the Red Apes family is neat. You could do a lot of stuff with it. It's just everything past the concept is calling it amateurish is a huge insult to amateurs, because there are a lot of amateurs who do a lot of animation stuff that's just way fucking better. It's way more fucking competent. They are below amateur level, completely below amateur level. But yeah, like it's like watching Wreck-It Ralph 2 for the worst people you know, nothing but cutaways and in-jokes and references by the NFT guys. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, completely. I didn't think you don't think they watched it a single time. That's fucking possible. I honestly, like, they had to have though, right? I mean, it's not like when you're making a thing, you do want to make sure that it's at least a little good. Like when you press that render button on a video and you finish it, you do like at least for pride's sake. Because I used to make like little videos using Windows Movie Maker. You would at least like open it up in Windows Movie Maker or like Windows Media Player and like watch it over and go like, yeah, this is really good, even though it's a bunch of still images with the basic fucking Windows music on the computer behind them. You know, it's stuff like that. It's like you watch it so you can be like, yeah, that's really fucking good. They have to have, especially because of all of the shit that they posted on social media about how great it was and how it sold out at the theater they rented in Dubai and just like all of this stuff. It's like they think it's great. Completely in the most wild possible way. They think it's great, but like I don't see how they didn't look at it and say, okay, this is a professional thing that we're doing. We're doing this for money. We are professionals. This doesn't feel like a professional product. I have seen cartoons. I have watched an Animaniacs, maybe seen a SpongeBob in my life, and this doesn't feel the same way that they do. Something about this feels wrong. Maybe we should fucking work around this and like retool it a little bit so that it feels more right. Figure out our pacing problems. Figure out what all of these problems are, and then fix it. And they didn't. At no point did they say that this is wrong, this is bad, and this isn't what we should do. And it's crazy. It's nuts that they didn't. Because all of this stuff to anyone who has ever watched a cartoon in their life is obvious. It's obvious that there are problems. People who have watched a cartoon might not be able to tell exactly what the problem is, but they watch it and they say, no, this is wrong and bad. There is something wrong and weird about this thing. I cannot put my finger on it, but it feels wrong. It doesn't make a lot of sense. There's a lot of problems with this that, like, I don't know what's going on half the time. Half the time when it cuts to another scene, it's like a jump scare. You know, stuff like that. Yeah. I don't know if you've made this point, but NFT art is first and foremost appealing to NFT guys. Yes, yeah. That was the point that I made at the beginning of the video. But yes, you're completely fucking right, yeah. To me, it's blatantly clear that the primary part of every cut of the scene was to service either their producers or their bears. Yeah, definitely. The point isn't to like the cartoon, isn't even to watch the cartoon, the point is to own the cartoon. Yeah, ultimately, that's completely correct. Though, again, they do keep talking about it like they are proud of it. They are proud of it as a piece of art based on the way that they're talking about it. And especially because they upload it on YouTube. Like, specifically, this isn't an NFT that you can own. This is a YouTube series that's promoting their NFTs, like a He-Man promoted toys. And they talked about it like, yo, we just had, like, the biggest fucking premiere in Dubai. We sold out the theaters. And it's like, and it's a piece of animation. Animation takes a lot of time and a lot of fucking hard work. Even if it looks like ass, that shit took probably a month to make. Like, 3, okay, maybe 2 weeks. 2 weeks at maximum of just, like, animating. Like, if they're doing 9 to 5, that probably took 2 weeks. Like, just to make that. Because they also have to figure out the art direction. Have to do all of the background art. They have to figure out how, like, everything looks. Because, like, the look of Mars and the look of Earth were very distinct. And they did that on purpose. There was some level, like you can tell that there was a production thought gone into it, but, like, a lot of the basic stuff they just completely fucked up. Some people worked very hard on this, and it sucks that the thing that all of that hard work went into was a complete piece of fucking horseshit garbage. Like, someone, yeah. Oh, yeah. Why does it look like you live in a scary house in an amusement park? I kind of do. I don't live in a scary house in an amusement park. I live in a scary house in the middle of the fucking woods. Like to be clear, I do live in the actual fucking woods. I do, like, when I say I have to put wood in the fire, that's not like a spooky, like, lore thing. That's an actual Thel lives in a fucking house made in the 70s in the woods that is heated by a wood pellet stove. That's real life shit. I'm just like this. This is just the person that I am. So let's watch some Crash fucking Canyon. And we can talk about how good Crash Canyon is in comparison to the apes. Your brain is physically hurting. Imagine a cartoon of this caliber quality for a Hasbro toy. Imagine a cartoon about collector's edition Transformers with that quality and pacing. Yeah, that's fucking fair. That's a good question, Barmem. Hold on, I'm going to address the thing that Moxie just said, because that's a very good point. A very funny point, to be clear, and I do want to talk about that. But Barman did ask a very good, like, logistical question. How the fuck do I get internet out here? Good question. Have an answer. So, I live in the middle of I live in a, what is essentially, technically, a cul-de-sac, but, like, my driveway veers really, really deep into the forest. It's like far away. And the reason that we have internet out here is because this is a cul-de-sac that is in a town that is close enough to the Intel campus that a bunch of people who make a lot of money in tech are able to move to, or will move to. Like, the thing is I live in the middle of a fucking cabin in the woods, but I'm, like, upper middle class because my dad worked at IBM for, like, fucking 10 years or something. So, we live in here because we happen to live in a middle of the woods but gentrified middle of the woods. So I actually have pretty good internet out here. Horror movie venue, yeah. I don't have phone signal, but I have pretty good fucking internet. Which is wild. But let's talk about the thing. So, imagining a cartoon of this caliber and quality for a Hasbro toy. Imagine a cartoon about collectors of different Transformers with this quality and pacing. It's incredibly funny because most Hasbro toy cartoons. I have been speaking for too long and forget how to do the words. I am just spewing out the brain thoughts through my mouth. Most of them have Well, okay, the original ones didn't have great animation, but most of the, especially recent ones, have had pretty fucking good animations. Like, She-Ra in particular was real fucking good. And, like, you know, just they also use a lot of Flash puppets in there. Like, My Little Pony was a bunch of Flash puppets. And, like, yeah, incredibly funny that Hasbro markets their toys with cartoons that are of such higher quality than that. So much higher quality. Yeah, horror movie venue. Oh, so I'm a rich boy. More or less. In comparison to a lot of people, yes, I will say that I'm kind of a rich boy. For like 10 plus years, you didn't have internet at your house, and you finally rolled out the cable, and now your house in the woods has internet and pretty good internet. Oh, fucking right. You hate when your thoughts go ahead and typing and you skip words. Yeah, no, that's what I'm doing with my mouth, Barm. I'm completely understood. But yeah, it's so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. But I guess, like, Hasbro has, like, a history of that, ever since good old Ronnie Reagan made it legal to advertise toys to children through cartoons. That's why there was, like, the whole big push of Hasbro doing all of that stuff in the 80s. It was good old Ronnie Reagan made that happen, which, you could say is not great, but I guess thanks Ronald Reagan for My Little Pony Friendship is Magic. The words that come out of my mouth sometimes. Let's watch Crash Canyon and laugh at that instead of the things that I'm saying. Oh boy. So, I'm going to warn you, this is a very bad show, but I'm, again, going to compare it favorably to Ape NFT cartoon. The first thing you'll notice is it is a Family Guy ripoff.
Vacation time! And we're already almost through the first part of the schedule.
Sorry.
So, okay, notice how the character movement already is much more fluid than the very kind of choppy animation of the thing. That's because they are using the computer to do keyframes, but what they're specifically doing is they're having one keyframe in the middle. So, like, the arm will start moving slowly and then move slightly faster because there's a keyframe in the middle between the two other keyframes. That's something I've done several times, and it makes the animation look a lot smoother. Even though it's basic fucking garbage that looks like ass trash, and unfortunately there's no, I cannot go higher than 3. It's gonna fucking look like this. I'm so sorry. There's nothing I can do about it. Why does every sitcom wife look like that? Lois Griffin is the answer to that question. Oh, Craig McCracken is it goes back a little bit. Okay, so let's talk about Craig McCracken. So, here's the thing. Craig McCracken is the guy who worked at good old Cartoon Network. He did such shows as the Powerpuff Girls and Dexter's Laboratory. Craig McCracken, being that he worked at a children's cartoon network for kids, was not allowed to make the mom sexy. He wanted to, but he wasn't allowed to give them big old fucking honka-donka doodlers. He wasn't able to give him big old titties. So he said, okay, compromise. I'll give him fat fucking hips and a big fucking ass. He did that and followed through. And his friend, Gendy Tartakovsky, also did that as well in a lot of his shows. It's incredibly funny. Like, whenever people talk about Symbiotic Titan, they talk about the scene where the lady with the fat ass does a fat ass dance, and that's fucking it. That's all I know about Symbiotic Titan. I should probably watch it because I love Genji's stuff, but all I know is that the lady with the big butt does the dance. But anyway, the reason is they have, so that's the reason she has the big hips, but she's on an adult animation cartoon, so she can have big circles for boobs now. That's okay. That's allowed on adult animation where they say the fuck word. Like me, you can, if you want big tits, come to Thel Graveyard Media stream. I'm allowed to have fat fucking tits. You can't stop me.
I'm late. I'm just dealing with an annoying telemarketer.
The joke was funny 3 seconds ago. Thel OnlyFans win. No.
Library books are overdue.
No.
Thanks for renting me that air horn, Jakey. Best $5 I ever spent.
Save it, Mom. I don't care about customer satisfaction. I'm all about the money.
Like those gypsies that painted our driveway and said it was paved. Oh, if I ever see them again, I'll choke them with their scarves.
Forgot about that. Okay, but here's another thing I want to talk about. Let's push that to the side for a second. I don't want to talk about that shit, but I do want to talk about something else. Immediately, what this show does is establish it is a family comedy about a bunch of weirdos, right? This is how it uses its very First scene. The very first scene is not inconsequential. It explains the emotions that all of the characters feel towards each other, their characters. It establishes things. In the very first scene, what a cartoon is supposed to do. It also establishes the plot. The very first scene, they're getting ready to go on the road trip that's going to lead into the Crash Canyon that the show is named for. You see? That's how you do it. Crash Canyon, this awful garbage show, does it better than the NFT monkeys. Okay, yeah, Thel OnlyFans win, yes, Lamau. Caillou gets grounded art style. Yeah. Yeah. Fucking Christ, stop with that!
I don't want to go on vacation. I want to go to Lancey's pool party.
Come on, it'll be fun.
Character established.
And I got us all matching travel mugs.
Character established.
Now, is it?
See, this so we have like the angry silly mom. We have like the doting father who's like a big doofus but is dumb as shit and doesn't realize nobody's interested in his dumb bullshit. We have the son who is like a Bart. He's a Bart, just like Bart. And then we have the daughter who's very interested in her cell phone and her friends because she's a teenager. All incredibly tired fucking stereotypes, incredibly deeply boring, and not funny characters. But they're all established immediately in the first scene. We get a good idea of what's going on. Even in this completely trash... Okay, you know what? That was a funny joke. I liked that joke. There is one funny joke in Crash Canyon. It was that one. Congratulations, Crash Canyon. You win. You win. You beat fucking NFT monkeys by having one semi-funny joke. I didn't laugh, but it's a joke that I looked at and thought, that's pretty funny. I understand it. I like that joke. And that's it.
And one for you, Sheila.
These characters are AI generated. Yeah.
Norman, why is there an extra travel mug?
And then the next scene is used to establish this character, the other character that's going to be with them. There is not a second that is wasted in this. Every cut leads to something, right? And this is the best example I can think of a garbage, shitty, not good cartoon. So much better than the NFT apes. Just competently paced. To be clear, this show is really fucking bad. Really fucking bad. But all of the basic, normal, ground level shit they got. They got all of that. They've established their characters. They've established the plot. We know how all the characters feel about each other. We know it's a dysfunctional family. We know what all of the family members' deals are. We can tell what this guy's fucking deal is by looking at his character model, right? Like, the character designs in the show tell you almost everything you need to know about them. And that's something that the Red Apes doesn't do because they all look just incredibly generic. The one that is a mom Red Ape has... Like, if you were to take a screenshot of all of the apes, you would assume that like, you would not be able to tell what any of their, like genders are. Which I guess is fine if that's a thing that you're trying to actively do, but it's not. That girl is the girl ape is supposed to be the girl mom ape who is a woman. That's her entire thing. She has, like, girl in a fucking 2002 video game webcomic syndrome. So, like, it's just insane the way that Crash Canyon successfully fixes the fucking problem of the ape NFTs. Like all of the fucking problems the ape NFTs have, Crash Canyon is able to jump over them with the grace of a fucking antelope, as though they were never problems that you needed to worry about. Everything else in Crash Canyon is very bad. The animation is not great. It's pretty fucking not good, but it looks better than the ape NFTs. It's just insane that they had such a the amount of incompetence in the ape NFT thing, especially because like yes, they were trying to just make everything for like all of their NFT bros, but like you can you can make a terrible comedy show that is so much more competent on a base level than what they did.
So excited you joined us, Vernon. It wouldn't be a family trip without Norm's third cousin, who grabbed my butt at Aunt Carol's funeral.
You got off easy compared to Aunt Carol.
A fine-looking woman, in life and in death.
Is that Alex
I have
Hirsch?
just the thing to change the subject.
I hope not.
Oh yeah, this party just got started.
You see, the jokes aren't funny. The pacing and everything makes sense. The animation isn't great. It's just a basic walk cycle, and the jokes aren't funny, but, like, you know, it's something. It has the base level. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, have you seen that billboard of different phrases and words not used in films? It's just that distilled. Oh yeah, that whiteboard. Yeah. 1-5, they know their timing. Yeah. Crash Canyon is bad because it's utter addiction to the formula, and formula requires the bare minimum of quality. Yeah, I guess that's true. It's addicted to the formula, which would be fine if the jokes were funny, but none of the jokes are funny. It doesn't have, it wants to be a Family Guy, and that's all it wants to be.
A close sign. And they're open.
Yeah.
It's funny because it's not true.
But yeah, to be able to do a formula, you need to.
Behind your back when you were in the museum.
For the record, I wanted to wait so I could say it to your face.
And so far the trip hasn't been, well, fun.
Mom's being kind, Dad.
Was I? I didn't mean to be. It's been boring, tedious, mind-numbing.
It sucks worse than school, but at least I can skip that.
Okay, maybe it's been a bit slow till now, but wait till...
So, that's another thing I wanted to talk about. All of the dialogue in that scene flowed like a conversation might. Like, you can understand a conversation flowing like that, right? Like, everyone is responding to everyone else with a joke that isn't funny, but with a joke that, like, you would understand why the character would say that specific thing in response to the specific other thing that the character did. It's competent character dialogue, bad, but, like, it flows well. It's just like the littlest minutia. The littlest minutia of, like, fixing the NFT apes it's baffling how bad it is. Because it's not like they didn't have a team. They had a team of a bunch of different guys. If it was just, like, one guy animating this over, then, I don't know. It's wild. Wild that it's bad as it is. Like, it had 2 Chainz in it. And, like a known rapper man. And here we are establishing the Crash Canyon that they get crashed into. And then they do this. I'm just gonna skip the fucking intro because I don't care. Yeah. And it's a Canadian show.
Nice driving, Norm. Like some kind of minority. And yes, I'm talking about the one you're thinking of.
It's not all my...
They paused for laughter for that joke. I'm sorry. I wanted to point out that they paused for laughter for that joke. I don't like that. I don't like that joke. That is bad. Okay, good news. Alex Hirsch isn't in this. Yeah! I don't know. The man sounded like Grunkle Stan, so... I'm glad Alex Hirsch didn't just make the joke that we just heard with our own ears. Awful. Really awful shit. I mean, I understand that it's like this man's making a joke about minorities, but then it, like, legitimately did that with, like, Romani for, like, 10 fucking minutes. Like, listen, you can't get off when you're doing that shit, too, alright? You can't make that joke after that shit that you just made. It was bad. Most of the main dudes are Patrick McKenna, kinda the Seth MacFarlane doing anything. Oh, okay, alright, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. Thank you for looking it up, by the way, Moxie. This is really nice. I actually love that. But yeah, so, another thing I want to talk about. They have now crashed in the Crash Canyon. Here's one of the things that they could have done. What they could have done is they could have started, like, in media res with just, like, they have crashed in the Crash Canyon. And they're like, oh god, we've been crashed in this Crash Canyon. This sucks. 20 minutes earlier when they were getting into the car, and then it establishes all of that stuff. Like, that would have a reason to, like, have a flashback, right? Because it's like, alright, we're establishing that we've crashed in the canyon, now we need to establish all of this other stuff and how we got to the Crash Canyon, so that we can get to the stuff in the Crash Canyon. This show has a good reason to have a flashback. The Apes one did not. The flashback was meaningless. I'm so still caught up on the flashback. And why was there a flashback? Why did they need to have a flashback? I cannot fathom why they needed to have a flashback. It's not like a thing that all cartoons have. It's a thing that they made the executive decision that there would be a flashback to the thing there, and no reason why. It's just, man. The Apes one was bad.
guys distracted me with your complaining, and some blame has to go to gravity. This isn't the first time I've clashed with it and lost. Oh, my shirt! Oh, my spleen! So let's just...
It would have been funny if he hadn't said anything, actually. I feel like that joke would have been funny if he hadn't said anything.
See where we are. Okay, I don't know where we are, but wherever it is, we're together, and we're alive.
Okay, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop it here. At about 4 minutes in, I think we're probably gonna end the stream. We've been going for about a feature length. So I'm gonna stop this here. This is essentially like it's essentially where the Apes NFT stopped in its story, was like right fucking here. It was able to go through the exact same amount of stuff in like 4 minutes, whereas the Apes one took 6. Now we understand all of the characters. We literally didn't. There's one character in the Apes NFT because they have like another child that was just not established at all. We have no idea what the other child's deal is yet. But here we have everything established. There's the plot. There's all of the characters' relationships to each other. All of the stuff is right there, and they have crashed in the canyon where Crash Canyon takes place in. All of this stuff is constructed. You understand what's happening. You know exactly how all of this is working. It's not funny. It's very bad. But it all has that base level. And that's basically what I wanted to show you in the show that's deeply unfunny, that seems to hate its audience, and that I really think is fucking awful and like to torture people with. Was able to do so much better than the NFT Apes. It's wild. It's so bad. It's so old. She's screaming because there is no connection. Yes, she is screaming because there is no connection. Congratulations. Barman got the joke before they told the joke because it was such an obvious joke. That Crash Canyon is not good. It's extremely bad. But yeah, that's basically all I had to say. Tune in next time they release another episode. I want to see where it goes. I'm the kind of person who doesn't mind watching absolute garbage, and if you want to watch me watch absolute garbage, you're free to come around anytime. But it's been nice hanging out with everyone, and I will see everyone next time. The next stream I'm probably going to do is probably going to be on Friday. I'm going to be playing Disco Elysium, because of the fact that I want to play a game that has a wintry vibe, because it's that time of year, and Disco Elysium is perfect for that, especially because I haven't played through all of the new quests and stuff. I haven't with like all of the new voice acting. I played like part of the way through the first day, but haven't even gotten to the first day with all of the new stuff, and I really want to, and streaming it will give me a good reason to do that. So Friday, Disco Elysium stream on my stream. Tomorrow, Dawson is going to be streaming Yakuza, so show up for that. I'm also going to be in that stream. So yeah, for everyone who stopped by and everyone who stopped by and stayed around who rated Dawson's stream, thank you for stopping by. We're happy to have you here at Graveyard Media Incorporated TMCR, and I will see you all. Let me read chat first. Let me read what you guys are saying in chat first. I don't want to leave you hanging. Yeah, he said, yeah, okay, he said, yeah, Freezon didn't miss anything. I'm so sorry. Thel loses years off their life live on stream. I love it. Excited for that. That would be funny if anyone in the show would do what, yeah. And she's screaming because of no connection and made the joke about that. Yeah. But yeah. In that case, I will see everyone later. Good night.